So, good morning, my brothers and sisters. I want to tell you a story about last night. Last night I was at the beach. Many of you hold me in high esteem when it comes to family. You know, when you talk about me as a husband, when you talk about me as as a father, you hold me in high esteem, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. And yes, I must say that I do try, but really, when I sit down to think about me as Tayali and what goes on within me, I ask myself, how much of this is due to my self-discipline and molarity? Yeah, pronunciation here. How much of it is due to my discipline and molarity? Because people see from outside, but from within ourselves, we know what we think, we know what we feel. No, guys. 13 Bepe. I'll tell you that. I can't lie. I don't think I am a strong guy. I have my weaknesses, especially when I see beautiful things like this, glittering things. I'm a weak guy. I'm a weak guy. And this is just the honest truth. I'm a weak guy when I see beautiful things. Just like what happened yesterday when I went to the beach. Last night I went to the beach. There were guys that I am with some guys, around here where we are. So usually they go out in the night, but usually I stay back. I don't go out because I don't drink. So, and most of them, they are youngsters, so I tend to sit back. But yesterday they pushed me. No, let's go. You want to remain here? Let's go. So I went to the beach. And at the beach, good heavens, hey, Imwe, Alakwali Akantu, and at the beach, and it's in the evening, it's in the evening, it's in the night anyway, but the floodlights are there, there's so much light such that you can see everything. And then there were these bikinis and these girls that put on bikinis, they put on the bikinis like they want to take you to heaven. When you look at them, you're just like, damn it, what am I doing here? And I'm telling you, I saw things there. Hey, and most of these guys, were also the guys who are dressed up in this way, in short pants and muscle t-shirts and everything. But for me, I was dressed up like the way I am here. This is how I was dressed up. Okay, this is how I was dressed up. So, and I was there, and I got a cocktail, non-alcoholic. I don't drink. So I was there, and there was music playing, and people were dancing, and I'm watching the sea, watching the bikinis passing through me, passing before me. I'm like, damn it, hey, and what happens? Hey, listen. This fine feature just came to me and said, she had an accent, she had an accent, a Latino accent, and really she was voluptuous. Hey. And she came to me and she was like, hey, you're not dancing. What's the problem? You're supposed to be here and enjoy, but you're not enjoying. I'm like, well, I'm okay. Meanwhile, trying to scan her from bottom to the top and the middle, and in my mind I'm like, wow. And she's like, where are you from? And I'm from Zambia. She's like, oh, Zambia, okay. Where is Zambia exactly? And I'm like, central part of Africa, blah, 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 And we did a bit of introductory chat, and she told me, she says, I don't think you're properly dressed. I don't think you're properly dressed, in her accent. And, I'm like, no, I'm fine. She said, no. Let's go to my room. I give you something that you should wear. I've got better clothes for you to wear. And you can imagine there, Muntuandi, Umtima Isambokla Tuntanjen, I'm like, and then, and then she was like, you are hesitant. Are you married? Hey, I almost said no, But then there's just something in me that just said, yeah, I am married. And then she said, oh, she's so lucky. Is that why you're hesitant to go and change in my room? I'm like, well, but anyway, somehow, I'm telling you, I couldn't give a definite answer whether to say, no, I can't come with you, or, let's go. I was just there, freezing, and my blood was running so fast. My mind was activated like with the extra charge, that like electricity is passing through in your brain, Hey, but within a short time, you don't want to look like a fool before this beautiful lady, and but whilst I'm thinking, what happened? I got a phone call from my daughter. Just there, when I was in the midst of blue, I got a phone call from my daughter, just at that point, and I looked at it, and I got the courage to I just showed her to say, sorry, I have to pick this. This is my daughter, and I picked the phone and I started walking away from the lady, talking to my daughter. When I turned around, she was gone. And somehow, at that point, I called my wife. I called my wife to show her, where I was and blah, 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 blah. A few minutes later, I left the place and I came back. Waking up this morning, trust me, I'm feeling like, wow, I would have, I don't know, I would have messed up. I'm feeling like victorious, I'm feeling like victorious. But if you really ask me, was it really because of me that I resisted that temptation? Was it really because of me that I resisted that temptation? If you like, from a Christian point of view, you can say that was a victorious night for me. But really, was that victory dependent on me, or it was by God's grace? It was by God's grace. Frankly speaking, this morning for me, I am just thanking God. I woke up thanking God to say, God, you are so gracious. God, you are so merciful. Because it wasn't really because of me. I'm telling you, I don't know what would have happened thereafter, because that refusing to say, no, I can't go to your room for whatever reason didn't come out. Instead, my body was acting very fast. My brain was, activated, and I was like, whoa, I'm going I might go to Ibiza right now. But somehow, I got that kind of intervention, if you like. That kind of intervention. My daughter called me just at that point, and I looked at the number. I said, I have to pick this. I got the courage. I couldn't. I couldn't do. I couldn't cut my daughter, because of this girl. No, that I can never do. I can never do. So I had to pick it. And I picked it with confidence to say, sorry, I have to pick this. This is my daughter. And I went away to answer the call. God intervened. God came to my aid. And this is what usually happens if you are a person of prayer. If you always invite God in your life, when you wake up in the morning, you spend time to pray. Because what comes along the way, sometimes we don't have the strength, to overcome it. Sometimes we don't have the strength. So this is why I like to pray in the morning. I like to pray before I start my day. I like to pray. If it is possible for me to go to church, I even go to church. When I go to church almost every day. I pray almost every day. It is not because I think that I'm a good guy. No. It is because I recognize my weaknesses. I recognize my weaknesses, and I want God to move with me during the day, to help me overcome whatever situation, and of course, to provide for me. Hey, whatever. Look, I mean, do I look like Mushanina around here? How many politicians, even those that are whatever, how many are living the life that I'm living right now when I'm supposed to be suffering? You say, hey, you are suffering. You keep imposing on suffering on me. When, God is blessing me, but you mama ikanila fe ule chula. Awe, le salempala iwe na papata ine. Ndenda, I'm moving around. I'm telling you, inkwele indeke ndeshkwela kwati ni yangu. Mwegzao, indeke ndeshkwela kwati ni muyangu. I mingle with the big people that I never thought I would. Big people that I never thought I would be mingling with. I am respected wherever look at this hotel where I am. They are booked for me. I'm living a good life when I'm supposed to be suffering, but God has intervened. Basically, the point I'm trying to say is that, don't look at yourself in whichever way to say what, just be with God, and God will take care of everything. And just what happened yesterday, and this morning when I was praying, and I read this scripture. It is coming from Hebrews 13, verse 1 to 8. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 1 to 8. And the reading is quite interesting. It's somehow, like God, when something happens, God comes to speak to you. He speaks to you. And listen to this reading. Continue to love each other like brothers. And of course, you can add brothers and sisters. And remember always to welcome strangers. For by doing this, some people have entertained angels without knowing it. Keep in mind those who are in prison, as though you were in prison with them, and those who are being badly treated, since you too are in one body. Marriage is to be honored by all, and marriages are to be kept undefiled, because fornicators and adulterers will come under God's judgment. Imagine, listen to that. Listen to that. Marriage is to be honored by all, and marriages are to be kept undefiled, because fornicators and adulterers will come under God's judgment. Put greed out of your lives and be content with whatever you have. Be content with whatever you have. And be okay with whatever you have. God himself has said, I will not fail you or desert you. And so we can say with confidence, with the Lord to help me, I fear nothing. With the Lord to help me, I fear nothing. What can man do? It says, what can man do to me? Remember, your leaders who preach the word of God to you, and as you reflect on the outcome of their lives, imitate their faith. Jesus is the same today as he was yesterday, and he will be forever. Now, there are a number of points that you can take here. Of course, it talks about loving one another. A person who is prayerful is usually, loving to others. He doesn't do bad to others. I know somebody who say, hey, but you talk about this. No. Admonishing people, it doesn't mean that you hate them. No, it doesn't mean that you hate them. And he says, entertain the strangers, different people that come into our lives, treat them well. It also talks about, thinking about those that are in prison. You sympathize with them, you pray for them. And, but then this point to say marriage must be honored, it must not be defiled. Now, imagine if yesterday I had fallen and reading this Bible passage of Hebrews chapter 13, verse 1 to 8, how would I have felt? I would have felt very bad. I would have felt very bad. But this morning I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, but really it's not so much according to me. It is by God's grace. It's by God's grace. But nonetheless, I was saved. And this is why I am happy to sing the psalm, to say, the Lord is my light and my help. This morning I'm able to say, the Lord is my light and my help. My brothers and sisters, the whole point is that, whatever we do, whoever we are, I just believe that it's good to have a relationship with God, because God works in ways that we don't understand. God comes in where our strength fails us. Where our strength fails us, at the point of our weaknesses, that is where God comes in. God does not, we don't need God where we can, strive and whatever. It is at the point of our weaknesses that God comes in. Me living here, my family separated, that is a point of weakness. That is a point of weakness, Me being here alone, this is a point of weakness. I can be tempted big time, many challenges, and this is a point of weakness. And that's why I need God. Equally, yourselves, you may be at your point of weaknesses. And you have to look at what is the point of weakness. What is my point of weakness? It doesn't matter what point of weakness it is. It could be sin itself. Recognize that, look, you have a weakness here. Like myself, I do recognize that, before beautiful things, shining things, I am weak. And yet, I should have had dozens of children. I should have had dozens of children, but I don't have dozens of children. I only have 3 children. 3 children from my marriage, 2 from my first marriage, and 1 from my second marriage. That's all I have. How come? How come? And yet I have this weakness. Because God comes in. I could be sick as well. I could be sick. I could be positive. I could be HIV positive or anything, whatever it is. But so far, I have no complaint of that sort. And yet I have a weakness. How come? Because God comes in. I have my political challenges, political challenges where, sometimes I don't even have the finances. And yet, here I am. Because God comes in. I have challenges, of people pursuing me. Hey, Interpol will arrest you, will bring you. But here I am, flying all over, and meeting people that I never thought I would meet. In my life, I'm in exile as a refugee because God comes in. If you don't believe what I say, that God works in me and helps me, Fienu, have a blessed day.